I was shooting at a cactus with my best friend, Silvio. We both had brand new guns. Colt 45s. We bought them with the ransom money from last week's dog napping. The sweetest damn chihuahua you ever did see. The owners paid us a small fortune. Now, you might be aware of this, but a decent-sized cactus is the third best thing for testing a firearm. The first best thing, obviously, is a human being. Which, I hasten to add, I've never aimed at, let alone shot at, nor would I ever do. I deplore violence of any kind. I may be a dog napper, but nobody takes more care of their canines than I do. I veritably spoil them. So does Silvio. He's an even bigger softy than me. Indeed, some pooches would clearly rather stay with us than go back home. The second best thing, a pig. Now, I can't imagine shooting a poor defenceless pig. Swine have intelligence of a 3-year-old child. And there's something to chew over when you eat your bacon sandwich. It's hard to believe now, but there never used to be cactuses, cacti, in this part of the world. No, it's true. My grandma used to tell me when she was a kid, this whole area was forest. There were oak trees and apple trees and silver birch and copper beech. And animals galore. There were badgers and deers and squirrels and storks. And of course, pangolin. People used to hunt pangolin for food. In those days, the speciality of the house in all local restaurants was piri pangolin. People used to travel miles to eat it. 2 of the restaurants in town got a Michelin star. But then, remember chainsaws came along and every tree in the forest was cut down. Every oak, and apple and silver birch and copper beech. Somewhere made a lot of money from all that wood. But who it was, nobody knows. And even if they had survived somehow, the great heat waves would have got them all. But they got everything here. Except cacti. I say to Silvio, this cactus is proving a worthy opponent, eh? And he's grinning. And it's a cute grin. But I do wish you'd get that discoloured tooth seen too. It's a blotch on an otherwise aesthetically pleasing visage. It was Silvio who picked this particular cactus. He said it looked like a green space monster with 7 tentacles, which, for him, is an act of creative imagination on par with a Sistine Chapel. I'm out of bullets. So is Silvio. Time for a pizza at Ma Mancha's Pizzeria, my friend. Do you concur? He's nodding. Ma Mancha's is our favourite hangout eatery. Now, it may not be haute cuisine, but the days of Michelin star are long since over. But the atmosphere is convivial. And the food is, well, it's making my mouth water just thinking about it. And if that's not recommendation enough, then I don't know what is. Another aspect of Ma Mancha's that makes the venue so appealing is Ma Mancha's son, Wesley, who waits on tables and acts as a general maitre d'. Now, I tell you, that whippersnapper has got the most bodacious bubble butt this side of the Bermuda Triangle. Everyone adores it. Everyone adores Wesley. There's nothing not to adore. When Wesley and his ma first moved here, I asked Wesley to go on a date with me. He said, I'll think about it. He's still thinking. Hang on. 2 men are walking towards us. They've got the physique of weightlifting champions, which is a look I've always found too cumbersome to be entirely threatening. Can't tell what gang they belong to, but they're holding Kalashnikovs. They're waving and smiling. I wave and smile back. But I notice Silvio crossing himself and I say, don't worry, Silvio. It'll be fine. And you know, I'm sure it will be. Gang members rarely, if ever, pick a fight with non-gang members like myself and Silvio, because it's beneath the sense of machismo. Unless, of course, you've done something to get on the wrong side. Which myself and Silvio most certainly haven't. Or have we? I tried to remember all the dogs we've napped. Could one of them belong to one of them? I always try to check things like this thoroughly before we target any canine. The gang members reach out to shake our hand. I say, good afternoon. What a pleasure it is. I'm grabbed round the neck. The gun's kicked from my head and I'm punched in the stomach. I'm on my knees. The same thing's happening to Silvio. And I want to cry out, what's provoked this uncivil behaviour, kind sirs? But I haven't got the breath. My hands are being tied behind my back. And I'm pulled to my feet. One of the gang members says, just nod or shake your head. You're wondering, what what you've done wrong, right? Tell me, do you know whose favourite cactus that is? Tennies. The next thing I know, Silvio and myself are having bags pulled over our heads. We're being pushed and Kalashnikov prodded across the desert. At least I am. So I assume Silvio is too. Do I hear the car boot being opened? I do. We're being thrown into it. The boot slams. Silvio is whimpering. Look, pull yourself together, mon ami. Look, all we have to do is tell Tenny we had no idea it was his favourite cactus. We didn't even know he liked cacti. The car's moving. I think we're heading due south. Down the motorway. Away from town. I can hear the gang members talking and laughing. It's the sort of laughing nasty people who have on movies, mate, just before they're about to do something really, really nasty. Silvio's whimpering turns to green. I play along with him. I'm a militant atheist. To paraphrase the old saying, there are no atheists when you're on the wrong side. The tenny. The car's stopping. The boot opens. We're being dragged out. I can hear distant voices. Children play. I can smell food being cooked. Smells like calamari, but I can't be sure. The door creaks open. We're going inside. Going down some stairs. It smells damp. Another door creaks open. Silvio and myself have been pushed forward and the bag is yanked off my head. We're in a room. It's no bigger than a cupboard. It's a cell. What a Tenny is murder cells. I say, gentlemen, this isn't a Griegus overreaction. We don't deserve to die. One of the gang members says, it's not the dying you should be worried about. It's the bit that leads up to it. They walk out. They lock the door. Silvio falls to his knees and prays even louder. I notice his jeans turning dark with urine. Control yourself, mein Freund. If we lose our dignity, we lose all. There's a small window. It's too high to see what's outside. And it's got prison bars, so it's not a feasible escape route anyway. Okay, pay attention, good buddy Silvio. We need to think of a way out of here, and think of it quickly. Silvio stares at me with his mouth open. Why do I bother seeking suggestions from him anyway? Ideas are not his forte. You know the dog nappings we've done? He hasn't helped plan a single one. It's all been me. I select the dogs. I study the habits of the owners. I work out the best time and place. All he has to do is the actual snatching bit. In other words, if we've got any hope of getting out of this current predicament, it's got to be up to me, and me alone, to think of a way of doing it. Okay, let's think. Got it! Silvio must wait a customer. If we sit back to back, you should be able to untie the ropes around my hands. Do you understand? Is that a nod? It's hard to tell when he's trembling so much. But okay, let's give it a try. We sit back to back. Silvio's a little smaller than me, so I crouch forward a little. I can feel his fingers touching my hands. Can you find the knot? Yes, that's it. Yes, I appreciate your fingers have got a bit numb, matey, but you have to try your best. Footsteps! Me and Silvio snap apart. The two gang members come back into the cell. One of them says, Tenny says we can have fun with one here while he's having dinner. I'm about to ask whether dinner actually is calamari when a chainsaw! One of them is holding a chainsaw. The other one's pinning Silvio to the ground. Silvio screams to me to help, but what can I do? I took myself into a corner and look away. The henchman holding Silvio says, if you don't watch this, we'll make him suffer twice as much. Right, Harold? Right, Pender. Well, at least I know the names now, which adds a degree of intimacy to an otherwise totally hostile and alienating scenario. Pender starts the chainsaw. It's definitely loud in such a confined space. Silvio screams as the chainsaw cuts off his left foot. I'm surprised how swiftly the amputation happens. I'm even more surprised at the amount of blood. If there was a small fire, we could use Silvio's stump as a hose pipe. The right foot comes off just as quick. I notice Pender has been careful not to damage Silvio's snakeskin brogues. No doubt Pender is ironing for himself, or possibly a bow. And why not? I'd wear them myself if they were my size and I wasn't about to be tortured to death. Pender obviously has no interest in Silvio's Galliano jeans because he hacked straight through them to sever the legs. Probably the right choice. Galliano's gone somewhat off the boil in my humble opinion. I am surprised, however, at Pender's cavalier attitude regarding Silvio's shirt. True, it's not a designer label, but it is made from the most gorgeous Japanese blue silk. It seems to have an erotic charge all of its own. Not that I ever felt erotic charge towards Sylvia myself, except for that long weekend in Reykjavik.
But what else can you do when you're sharing a room with an oversexed ex-jailbird intent on watching every moment of your...
Oh, God! Penda is cutting off Silvio's head. I want to look away, but Harold, he's bouncing over to make sure that I'm watching. He's starting to know what expression he might be to have. Interest, shock. In the end, I settle for a sort of appalled gobsmackiness. And yes, I am aware that's not a word, but to be honest, I've got more important things to worry about than correct grammar at the moment. There's so much blood pooling across the floor, I took myself tight against the wall to avoid it touching me. Smell making me giddy and nauseous. Oh, I hope I don't throw up. There's more than enough bodily fluids in the cell already. I'll throw Silvio's head into my lap. It's heavier than I imagined. And Silvio's lips are still twitching. I wonder if he can see me. Shall I give him a smile just in case? Or say bon voyage, perhaps? What's the correct etiquette in a situation like this? Harold says, Teddy 10, you'll be there to see you very soon. And believe me, what he intends to do to you will make what we've done to your little friend look like an aromatic massage. They walk out, they lock the door. I hear them laughing all the way upstairs. Suppose leaving me with a dismembered Silvio is their way of increasing my apprehension and terror. But strangely enough, I find his presence rather a comfort. I think of all the good times we had together. Like that week in Bondi Beach with his great uncle Charlie, who taught us how to surf and cook duck, billed platypus kebabs and blood's touching my foot. This is no time to reminisce. I have got to get out of here. Okay, first problem to solve. How to get my hands untied. Think. Got it! A sharp piece of bone sticking out of Silvio's leg stump. If I could twist myself around so that the rope is touching the bone, I could try to cut through the... Yes! The bone's cutting the rope. It's not doing it as quickly as I'd like, but nearly. Yes! My hands are free. Okay, get some circulation back. Now, let's have another look up at that window. Yes, it definitely is too high, but those bars are not as close together as I originally thought. If I could get myself up there, I might be able to squeeze myself through. Okay, next problem to solve. How to get up to the window. Okay, think. Got it! If I pile the bits of Silvio up. Yes, this might just work. Okay, torso first. Good. Legs. Good. Arms. And finally, the head. Like a human pyramid. Okay, now stand on the pyramid of Silvio. Wait. I better remove my clothing first. If I do manage to get up to the window, it'll be much easier squeezing through without him tangling and getting in the way. I'm naked now. Okay, carefully stand on the pyramid of Silvio. Careful. Stretch. Tippy toes. I've got a bar. Pull myself up. Elbows on window ledge. I'm looking outside. I can see sand, a few weeds, a car. It's not Harold and Pender's car. In fact, he doesn't look pimped enough to belong to any gang member. It must belong to one of the servants. This must be the back of the villa. What's that? Voices? The rattling of crockery? The kitchen? I hear someone say chocolate espresso sponge cake with dark chocolate cinnamon glaze. Oh, Jesus! We're serving dessert. I better get a move on. I reach out and grab the weeds. Pull. Head through. Pull. Right shoulders through. If I could twist myself around a little. Yes! Left shoulders through. I wish my feet had something to push against. I wriggle and pull, wriggle and pull. The bars are crushing my ribs. I can barely breathe, but I've got to keep wriggling and pulling, wriggling and ribcage through. I'm half out. I'm gonna do it. The bars catch on my pelvis. I can't move. I can't move at all. Oh God, I'm stuck. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna... Footsteps. Someone's come out of the kitchen. They're walking up to the car. Hang on. I recognise that walk. I recognise those tight denim shorts wrapped around the most bodacious bubble butt this side of the Bermuda. It is Wesley. From our Manchester Pizzeria. He must be delivering pizzas. Oh, he'll help me. I know he will. Oh, I've got to attract his attention. I can't call out because someone else might hear. A pebble. I throw it. He lands by his feet. He looks around. Oh, he's not looking in this direction. Oh, see me, Wesley, please. Oh, he's getting his car keys out. I throw another pebble. He hits the car. He looks around and, oh, he's seen me. He cries out my name. Shh, he rushes over. What on earth are you doing? Look, I happen to be stuck, Wesley, and I'm trying to get unstuck. Don't tell me you've been burgling Teddy Tenny's villa. Of course I haven't been burgling Teddy Tenny's villa. Do you think I've got a bloody death wish or something? And even if I was burgling him, I'd hardly be doing it bloody naked, would I? Then what are you doing? Teddy Tenny's men caught me and Silvio shooting at Teddy Tenny's favourite cactus. You mean the one that looks like a green space monster with 7 tentacles? Do you know about it? There's an oil painting of it in Teddy Tenny's dining room. An oil painting? Oh, Jesus! Hang on. Don't tell me you personally deliver pizzas all the way to Teddy Tenny's dining table. I'm not delivering pizzas. Then what are you doing here? I've been helping to prepare and serve Teddy Tenny's dinner party. Really? Really? Okay, well, quick, Wesley, you have got to help. Teddy Tenny's going to be here any minute and he's got... You don't have to tell me. I know only too well what Teddy Tenny is capable of. Come here. No, don't pull me. I'm not going to budge without some form of lubrication. I'll go back to the kitchen and get some butter. Oh, wait. Won't people find it suspiciously conspicuous if you go back and ask for some butter? It'll be fine. Really? Okay, Wesley rushes off. I hear the kitchen door open. Voices. Oh, please be quick, Wesley. Quick and careful. I look all around. The sun's almost set now. The sky's turning crimson. This could be the last sunset I ever see. Look, I don't mean to sound maudlin, but it's hard to maintain my natural joie de vivre when I'm a hair's breadth away from being, I don't know, flayed alive with a potato peel and then submerged in a bath of sulphuric acid, or possibly... Wesley's back. Have you got the... It's here. He rubs butter down my side, over my thighs. He rubs and rubs. Ready? Oh, yes, Wesley. He grabs me under the arms and pulls. Oh, still I don't budge. Again, Wesley. He pulls. God, I'm still stuck. It's hard to move it off. It's Pender and Harold returning with Teddy Tenure. Oh, pull me harder, Wesley. He pulls and pulls. Oh, God, slide out the bars. I get to my feet. Quick, Wesley, the car. What about Silvio? What about him? You said Teddy Tenny's men got you both. Well, yes, they did, but, well, isn't he in the cell with you? Yes, but, well, let's get him out. He's younger and softer than you. He'll get through the bars easier. Look, he'll get through the bars easier, but not for the reasons that you think. Believe me, there is nothing we can do to help poor Silvio now. Come on, we rush to the car. But Wesley, the butter will ruin your beautiful upholstery. I don't care. Get in. I hear Teddy Tenure yelling. I get in the car. Wesley starts the engine. We screech round the house and onto the motorway. We have to swerve to miss a car. We drive up onto the sand and bump back onto the tarmac. Foot on the accelerator, Wesley. We speed down the motorway. I look behind. A car is pulling away from the villa in pursuit. It's Harold and Pender. Another car follows. It's a gold Cadillac. Teddy Tenure's. I've heard about his gold Cadillac, but I've never actually seen it. Wow! If my life wasn't in the balance, I'd take some photos. More cars! 3 of them screeched onto the motorway behind Teddy Tenure's gold Cadillac. There's a 5-car posse after us, Wesley. Relax. God's on our side. He indicates a crucifix hanging from the rearview mirror. It's gold and decorated with tiny pearls in a style that owes a lot to late period Art Nouveau. That's one of the most beautiful crucifixes, crucifixi, I've ever seen, Wesley. That was a present from my sister. I didn't know you had a sister, Wesley. I haven't anymore. Why? She's dead. Oh, Wesley, I'm sorry to hear that. Was it a car crash? No. Was it an illness? No. Was it she was murdered? Really? Really? Gunshots! I look behind. Harold is shooting at us. Pender, while still driving, is aiming his Magnum too. Jesus, Wesley, it's a turkey shoot. Relax. None of the gang are marksmen. They're only good at killing when close range. We just have to keep ahead of them for the next 20 minutes. He indicates the clock on the dashboard, and then we'll be safe. Why 20 minutes, Wesley? That's how long it'll take for the poison to work. Poison? What poison? The poison I put in their food. I blast the gunfire! The bullets, missiles! Why did you put poison in the food, Wesley? You want to hear the full story now? Well, if you're concise and entertaining, yes, I'll try my best. Here goes. Before me and Ma came to live here, we owned a pizzeria in Papua New Guinea. My sister was going to become a full-time cook there before leaving school, but she wanted to do some travelling first. She travelled to Kuala Lumpur, the Norfolk Broads, Moscow, Dublin, Fukushima, the Isle of Wight, and then she came here. Here! But why? She heard the restaurants did the best peri-peri pangolin in the world. That was years and years ago, Wesley. She realised that within minutes of getting off the bus in town, so she bought herself a milkshake to console herself. What flavour? Coconut. I love coconut milkshake. Do you want to hear the story or not? Sorry, Wesley. My sister spilt some of her milkshake on a certain person's favourite street corner. Tenny Teniers. That's right. Wesley, your sister, she must have been in big, big trouble. She was. What did she do? She phoned me and Ma to say she was in big, big trouble and she was catching the next bus out. She never made it. A wing mirror is hit. Tenny Ten, you caught my sister and took her back to his death cells. It was Tenny Ten, you murdered her. It was. But first, he did terrible, terrible things to her. Oh, Wesley, I'm so sorry. Tenny Ten, you've done terrible, terrible things to so many people in town. He almost did terrible, terrible things to me. I can't tell you how scared I was in that cell. Do you want to hear this story or not? Of course, Wesley. Sorry, carry on. This evening was a very special dinner party for Tenny Tenure. His whole family have turned up to celebrate the purchase of 5 forests they plan to fell before the fall. There's his parents from Bolton who hunt black rhino in the Bahamas. His brother from Mauritius who farms mink and chinchilla. His son from Kentucky, who kills koalas for kicks, and his twin sons from Tasmania, who keep tigers for pets. Every single one of them was dead in 17 minutes. And you could have got clean away if it wasn't for me. I couldn't let them hurt someone else I cared for. You mean you care for me, Wesley? Very much. Then why didn't you agree to go out with me? I needed to get all this revenge stuff out the way first. Wrong bullet! I realise hit! That ain't better than you thought, Wesley! It's just luck. Relax. In 15 minutes, it'll all be over. I look all around me. The sun's almost set now. The first stars are appearing. Wesley turns on the car headlights. The motorway lights up ahead of us. You know, Wesley, I've always found driving at night very romantic. Me too. I put my hand on Wesley's leg. His skin's so soft and smooth. So is mine, but I'm covered with butter. I've never been this far down the motorway before, Wesley. It goes all the way to Zapalakia. I hear it's beautiful in Zapalakia. Staging car tyres! I look behind. Harold and Pender's car is swerving. The poison must be taking effect already, Wesley. It works quicker on some than others. Harold and Pender's car swerves off the motorway. He spins across the sand. It hits a rock. It flies into the air. It catches back down and boom! It explodes. The fire lights up the desert. Did you see that, Wesley? I did. Yes. 1 car down, 4 to go. I snuggle up to Wesley. The motorway lights up ahead of us, straight and empty. Wesley reaches out and touches my leg. I flush so hot, I fear the butter will sizzle. Have you ever been to Zapalaki, Wesley? Once or twice. My Aunt Zandy lives there. Is she in the pizza business too? No. She owns an independent cinema that specialises in cult films and forgotten classics. I love cult films and forgotten classics. Scooty car tyres! I look behind. One of the cars behind Teddy Tenyo is swerving. He swerves off the motorway. He spins across the sand. It hits a rock. It flies into the air. It crashes back down and boom! It explodes. Did you see that, Wesley? I did. Yes. 2 down, 3 to go. I snuggle up to Wesley. The motorway stretches ahead, straight and empty. Wesley looks at me and smiles. Is this a moment to kiss him? Perhaps not. I'll wait for all the cars to crash first. I've got an idea, Wesley. Why don't we go to Zapalakia and visit your Aunt Zandy? Aunt Zandy would love that, but I might need a shower and I have to find some clothes first. Yes, we'll sort that out. Although, I have to admit, I shall miss having your buttered, buff body beside me. Skitchy car tyres! I look behind. Another car behind Teddy Tenyo is swerving. It swerves off the motorway. It spins across the sand. It hits the rock. It flies into the air. It crashes back down and boom! The fire lights up the desert. Did you see that, Wesley? I did, yes. 3 down, 2 to go. I snuggle up to Wesley. The motorway stretches ahead, straight and empty. You know, Wesley, I've always wanted to work in a cinema. The idea's always appealed to me too. Why don't we ask your Aunt Zandy if we could work for her? That's a super idea. I'm sure she'll say yes. Skating car tyres! Oh, the remaining car behind Teddy Tenyo is swerving. It swerves off the motorway. It spins across the sand. It hits the rock. It flies into the air. It crashes back down. Boom! It explodes. The fire lights up the desert. Did you see that, Wesley? I did. Yes. 4 down. Only Teddy Tenyo left. I snuggle up to Wesley. The motorway lights up ahead of us, straight and empty. Wesley says, it won't be long now. Relax and enjoy the drive, baby cakes. Wesley, just call me baby cakes. My buttered, buff body buzzes. I snuggle closer to him, as any baby cakes would. Wesley smells of mandarins and spice. I'm not sure if it's his aftershave or something he's cooked for Teddy Tenyo's dinner. That reminds me. Wesley, was calamari on the menu this evening? That was the main course. I knew it. I look behind. Teddy Tenyo's headlights are dazzling. His gold Cadillac glitters in the moonlight. Don't look, baby cakes. Teddy Tenyo's are irrelevant now. We're planning our future. That's all that matters. Of course, Wesley. Of course. I snuggle up to Wesley. You know, if we do work at my Aunt Zandy's cinema, it means we'll have to live in Zapalakia. I wouldn't mind that at all. Not when we have our own home. I cannot live with someone I'm not married to, baby cakes. Will you marry me, Wesley? I will. I look behind. Teddy Tenyo's gold Cadillac glitters in the moonlight. I say, Wesley, Teddy Tenyo's car is getting closer.
The poison may take a bit longer with him. He's so huge.
But it will work, won't it? Eventually, yes. Don't worry about a thing, baby cakes. Relax. I snuggle up to Wesley. The motorway stretches ahead, straight and empty. Wesley kisses my cheek. You taste so tasty, baby cakes. I kiss him passionately on the lips. Careful, baby cakes. I'm driving. Sorry, baby cakes. I look behind. Teddy Tenyo's gold Cadillac glitters in the moonlight. Look, it's getting closer. I glance at the clock on the dashboard. Baby cakes. The poison should have taken effect 5 minutes ago. I know that, baby cakes, but I told you. Teddy Tenyo. Yes, I know, he's so huge, but what if he doesn't die before he catches up with us? He won't, but it's possible. Listen, baby cakes, we've got a wonderful future ahead of us. We're going to get great jobs at my Aunt Xander's cinema. We'll live in a lovely house. We'll get married. We'll start a family. We'll live happily ever after. Doesn't that sound like heaven, baby cakes? It does. And I suggest we do the only thing we can do. Enjoy the drive and hope for the best. Agreed, baby cakes? Agreed, baby cakes. I still go up to Wesley. The motorway stretches ahead, straight and empty. Behind us, tinny gold Cadillac glitters in the moonlight. It's getting closer. But we're hoping for the best. We're hoping for the best.